Hey, how's it going? Good morning. It's about 8 o'clock on this Thursday morning, I believe. And I just walked in a previous video all the way from Thang Lo Soi 10 on Ekamai Soi 63 here. Way off in the distance, way down there is the Ekamai BTS. Quite a ways. I'd say a solid 2 miles away. And yeah, I'll put a link to that video down in the description, depending how I edit these things. Sometimes I just upload it to the computer and I might put them up out of order, just however I get to the editing, but it'll all be put up at some point. So I'm way down at the end of 63. Let me pan off to the left here. Off in this distance is Phra Kraung, and way off there, if you see that hospital cross, that, if my boundaries are correct, is a hospital on Phetchaburi, and the airport rail link, those are the tracks straight ahead, not even whatever that is, 500 feet over the highway. Maybe a train will come by here in a minute. But up near that hospital will be Sukhumvit Soi 71 and an airport rail link station. Or off to the left, on the other side of these buildings, I'm not sure the distance, I've never really walked this area, will be another airport rail link station near Thang Lo. So I'm gonna walk off in this direction if I can. It says that way to Phetchaburi, so let's head off that way and make our way towards the end of Thang Lo and do a little exploring around. Now here's a Wat tucked away back here. Yeah, and there goes the water taxi. In the other video, I was looking for the water taxi pier. I was trying to end the Soi 63 video at the taxi pier. And if you can see it through those cables, there's the pier off to the right. You can continue straight ahead. You'll hit Thang Lo, and then it keeps going all the way down to Nana and points beyond. So obviously there's another water taxi pier off in the direction of Phra Kraung. I don't know anything about the water taxis. I've probably been on the boat 10 times over the years. But yeah, if you were to say stay in this building, and I'm assuming that's busy Phetchaburi straight ahead, you could jump on that water taxi and make your way down to your office in Asok. And you're also pretty close to the airport rail link. Once again, that's the track right there, right next to that billboard. I assume that's the track. I saw a train go by a minute ago. The problem is, I want to say there's only 10 stations. Yeah, here comes the train right here. There's not that many stations in between Suvarnabhumi and Phia Thai, which is up in the Victory Monument area, that train station. So here you're in between the one at the end of Soi 71, and then I think the other one is down by Soi 55. Once again, we're at the end of Ekamai Soi 63 and Phetchaburi. We're going to take a left turn. And many people use that airport rail link, including a couple of my friends, to get from point A to point B. It's not just folks going out to Suvarnabhumi. It's whoever lives out in that general area, or if you're over here on this side of town. We're a couple of miles from the BTS on Sukhumvit, or the light green line anyhow. But between thousands of buses running around Bangkok, the MRT underground, the subway, and the BTS system, plus the water taxis, that's a big help in getting around this traffic busy city. And I can't really read that. Does that say Supalini Park? That's the big building right on the corner of theirs. Of course, there's not a street sign. 99% sure. Yeah, I'm positive this is Phetchaburi. So Phetchaburi, and where that highway is above. To the right is definitely Soi 63. I'm not sure if it's Soi 63 going off in the other direction. I don't know. If I were over here driving around like I did in San Diego, I'd know every street frontwards and backwards. Me, I'm just kind of cabbing it around here and learning as I go. That condo right on the corner, it looks like a nice building, very tall, maybe 35 floors. And just to the left is the water taxi pier. We'll go back there and take a look. And you're going to hear many YouTubers in Bangkok talking about live as close as you can near the train. The Sukhumvit Lake Green Line is kind of expat central, and where I agree with that, I've said it myself, there are many other options in other parts of town. I mean, people live 10, 20 miles away from the Sukhumvit Lake Green Line, and they still manage to get around Bangkok if it's with these water taxis, the airport rail links, on and on. So do your homework, but yeah, make your life a little simple and try to be close to something. In this case, you'd be heavily relying on these water taxis. Now watch how they pull in. They pull in and you get on and off in seconds. Actually, a lot of people getting off at this stop, but still it's about a 10-second stop and then off they go. And once again, I don't know anything about the water taxis. I thought they kind of ended at Thong La, but obviously we're up to this is Ekamai Soi 63 where that bus is, and he's continuing on down the way to at least Prakanong and the Soi 71 area. From there, I'm not sure. I lived in On Nut for a year, and I never saw the water taxi up there, so let's assume it stops around Prakanong, but I apologize if I'm wrong. And I don't believe the water taxis run in the dark. Again, I'm not sure. I know the BTS and MRT run until midnight. Sometimes you can get lucky and catch one at 12:15, 12:20. But the water taxis, I think they wrap things up when the sun goes down for safety reasons. And somebody please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on that. Again, I'm not a water taxi guy. I'm just throwing it out there that if you're going to rely on the water taxi, well, at 7, 8 p.m., you might be dealing with taxi traffic or get used to sitting on the back of those motorbikes like I do. I'm really considering buying myself a helmet and keeping it in my backpack. I mean, I'm probably going to have bigger problems if I fall off the back of a bike than just needing a helmet. I'm wearing shorts and t-shirts half the time, but I guess it's part of the chance you take. The one good thing, I guess, is riding around on those bikes, you really don't get going that fast. There's just not that much traffic. But I did just film a video earlier this morning where a poor guy, just minding his business on the way to work, got hit by a motorbike going the wrong way. He was walking through a crosswalk, kind of weaving through traffic, and he looked left, looked right, looked left, and proceeded on, and then boom, got nailed. And the poor guy, me and a couple other people helped him up, but I'm pretty sure he had cracked ribs because he was just laying in the street going, man, I can't breathe, and just the telltale signs of yeah, I think you busted some ribs. But I'm not a doctor, I'm a YouTuber. So we got him in a car and got his girlfriend down there, and off to the hospital he went. Although I did used to race motorcycles, so I'm somewhat familiar with cracked ribs and bruised ribs. I think I bruised my ribs really bad one time, and yeah, I was having a hard time breathing. So luckily the guy was late 20s, early 30s, in really good shape, and I think he broke his finger or something. It was kind of twisted the wrong way. But yeah, he was really complaining he couldn't breathe, and getting hit by a couple 100 pounds of steel going the wrong way will certainly take the breath out of you. And here's a large office complex off to the left. And we're coming up on another large condo here on Phetchaburi. So with that water taxi, and if we can find the airport rail link station, there's the tracks right there, not even 100 miles away. And I'm pretty sure it's up there on the other side of that Bangkok Hospital. Those would be two good solutions to get around this Bangkok traffic. The airport rail link definitely runs into the evening. I believe 5 in the morning till midnight, I think. And here's the Toyota dealership. And across the way is a Thai rent-a-car. I'm not exactly sure what the M Theater is. Maybe it's just that, some kind of a dinner theater here on Phetchaburi. You can check that out on Google Maps to see exactly where we're at. Well, there's a picture of the theater. It looks to be a movie theater. I'm not positive. And here's the area revenue office number 2, which I believe is the tax office. I know there's another one, I want to say, on Soi 11. The capital, Ekamai Thong Lo. And it looks like a new base is going in next door, Phetchaburi Thong Lo. And I'm always curious about this sign. I've passed it many times, the Angelina across the way. I'm assuming it's an old school restaurant. I like the sign. And that is the airport rail link track. So it's basically running parallel with Phetchaburi if you're trying to get your boundaries. And we've made our way up to Soi 55. So this is the major street in Thong Lo. And I am going to take a left, but I'm going to walk up to that walkway across Phetchaburi and head over to the Bangkok Hospital side and see where the airport rail link closest station is. And this is looking down Soi 55. There is a water taxi pier right under that little bridge. I'll go take a peek down there. Maybe I'll start another video. I'm making too many 35-minute videos, but it's hard to cover 5 miles and put it down in 8 minutes. But for now, I'm going to cut across to the other side of Phetchaburi, find that train station. And here's the through building, Thong Lo, or Thong Lo. I've said Thong Lo kind of by mistake for years. I'm trying to correct my first grade Thai one step at a time. It's Thong Lo. At least that's what I've been told from my Thai friends. And here's a Bangkok wig shop. And this is looking up Phetchaburi in the direction coming from Prakanong and Soi 55. And that's looking off in the other direction. There's Phetchaburi Soi 47 on the right, and way off in the distance, I assume that is the Asok area. And now we're on the other side of the road, and I think a train just went by. The train guards came up. So there are some, below the airport rail link tracks, there is the old school Thai track that heads up to Makasan Station, where it heads off towards Suvarnabhumi. I'm not sure, but I know this is the track straight ahead. Yeah, here's the old school tracks and the airport rail link above. Well, I don't see the airport train station down that way, so it must be off in the other direction. I've kind of found myself on the wrong side of the street. But yeah, let me get off to the left and see if I can find the airport rail link here in the Thong Lo area. And I see I think that's a locomotive in the barn over there. And here's kind of an old school building, the city court. Sure, it'll come at an affordable price. If you're doing an internship or something at that Bangkok hospital, you want to stay close and live cheap. Oh man, this Bangkok hospital is tucked away further back than I thought. It looked like it was right there, but yeah, it's like another 1.5 miles back here. But I'm committed now. I did find, you can look up this Red Diamond restaurant on Google Maps to see where we're at, and I found another Holiday Inn Express tucked away back here. I guess that would be the Phetchaburi Holiday Inn Express. Muffin Mo Coffee. Sounds like a good name for a punk rock band. All right, so I've made it back here. Bangkok Hospital, world-class facility. I know of 2 branches, I think, here in Bangkok, and I know they have one down in Pattaya. Yeah, nothing wrong with Bangkok Hospital at all. And here's the exact name of that Holiday Inn Express near the Bangkok Hospital. Many people come to Thailand for medical tourism from all over Southeast Asia and in the Middle East. My hospital, Bumrungrad, up on Soi 3. Yeah, it's an international crowd wandering around that lobby. But if you're coming into town to this Bangkok hospital, this Holiday Inn Express might be a nice clean place to stay. Really feet from the hospital. Here's a salad factory and what was that? I saw another pizza place next door. Arab food. Yeah, this is kind of cool. I'm kind of running out of steam. I'm going on 3 hours of walking around. I was out before the sun came up, but this might be an interesting area to get out and explore every little side Soi one day. Yeah, so this whole compound is the hospital, and I'm sure hoping I can make a left turn up here and get back towards Phetchaburi. I really don't want to double back and walk that mile I just walked to get back here. Here's the heart hospital. They do things very specialized over here in Thailand. I've said it in other videos, but I busted my head open surfing in Indonesia and just caught whatever it was, 5 or 6 stitches. And I didn't want to take them out myself. They were on top of my head. It's a little difficult. I mean, if they were on my arm, yeah, no problem, I would have removed them. But I went over to Bumrungrad and they sent me to the surgery center. And I'm like, oh man, what's this going to cost me copay-wise just to have a couple of stitches taken out? And it was nothing. It was a $40 copay, I believe. But yeah, I said, just point me in the direction of a nurse and let's get this over with. But no. They basically took me into an outpatient operating room. I see a trauma center. Yeah, beautiful facility. Now I see all the different ambulances over here, and correct me if I'm wrong, I have the phone number saved on my phone for Bumrungrad ambulance. I was told if you're having a heart attack or something, call this number. I'll probably just jump in a taxi and say, hey, get me to Bumrungrad. But I think the ambulances go with the hospital. I'm so used to how things work in California, and it's basically through the San Diego City Fire Department. They show up and they'll just ask you, which hospital do you want to go to? I mean, you know, which one works with your insurance, and then off you go. But here, I think the ambulance is connected because I see the Bangkok Hospital ambulances running around town. And off in the distance where that tall, is it grayish building is, that is Phetchaburi. So let's hope where all these people are coming from, I can cut my way back through there. It's kind of fun for me to get out and explore the area, not to mention I'm not a step counter. I carried mail my whole life and I wasn't really concerned about, I walked 30,000 steps today. In fact, that probably would have depressed me if I saw the number on some days, because oftentimes we did 10, 11-hour shifts. And shout out to all my buddies that, I don't know which way to go. This way? I don't know. That might be watching my videos in San Diego. I know you guys are working hard carrying the mail, but I'm out here easily. I've walked 10 miles this morning. It's going on 9 o'clock and I've been walking since 6 o'clock non-stop, but I'm having a good time. So hopefully somebody's enjoying these looks around town. I know I am, if nothing else. Well, I kind of came from the one direction, so I'm going off this way, but I do need to make a left turn. And Bangkok being what it is, when I get down to the end of that street, there may not be a way to go to the left, which is where I need to go, and try to find this airport rail link station. I can always jump on one of these. Well, this is going to the hospital. You can sometimes jump on a half-empty condo bus, and they're going to take you somewhere, probably to the nearest train station. We're coming up on a 6-story building on the left. Another good choice if you have to be near this Bangkok Hospital in Phetchaburi area. It's the Keepler Residence, Bangkok. I apologize for the super bright sun. This isn't the perfect time to be out filming. 3, 4, 5, 6 in the afternoon. That's my go-to, with the sun kind of tucking away behind the buildings, but it is what it is. I had a kind of an early night, got home about midnight, and popped out of bed at 5 in the morning, which I would have normally rolled right back over and went to sleep until 9 or 10. But I decided to get out here before it heated up and start filming, and that's what I did. And then oftentimes I just keep going till 9, 10, 11 o'clock, and it's roasting hot. Here's the Lloyd building, another 6-story unit. Yeah, so I made my way down to the end, and yep, can't go left. Please, I'm gonna go look under those arches and see if I can go left, but yeah, I doubt it. I like the festive look of that building. We're a couple of months past the holidays, and they still have the decorations up, but it looks nice. And here's a place called Alice Eatery, tucked away back here. This is a pretty mellow area for, see, there's the airport rail link right there. I just need to get left somehow. Yeah, and here's those arches. No way to go left there. I'm afraid. No, this looks like it goes down in the middle of no place. Yep, I think I'm gonna have to call an audible and double back the whatever it is, 3/4 of a mile that way, whatever that big building is at the end there. I know Phetchaburi is to the right of that. Otherwise, I could be twisted around back here for another 5 miles and walk right past that airport rail link station. And as I'm walking back, I saw a gentleman with a backpack and lunch heading this way, and I'm gonna follow him. Oftentimes there might be a little shortcut cutting through buildings and little alleys, and at least I'm seeing something new. I know Phetchaburi is that way. I just need to get over there. Plus, gives me a chance to see what other little 3- and 4-story buildings are tucked away back here. For instance, this place. Yeah, I always kind of, yeah, see where he's going? Over those steps. Hopefully that's right where I need to go. I always kind of discounted Phetchaburi in my ignorant way of thinking, oh no, it's so far from Sukhumvit. I mean, it's kind of true. There's a lot of things going on Sukhumvit, and I would still kind of point you in that direction as a, hey, you know, where should I get started? Well, it just kind of depends on what you want to pay in Asok and Nana and where I'm at in Prompong, Ekamai, Tongla. You're gonna pay a little bit anywhere near the Sukhumvit Green Line. You can go way down the way. Yeah, there's Phetchaburi straight ahead. Great. I'm glad I followed that guy. You can pay any crazy amount of money in Tongla and these kind of places, and things are going to be cheaper out here in Phetchaburi, or you can stay on that Sukhumvit Light Green Line and head way out to Bering and Udamsuk and save some money. But there are just hundreds of places to live in Bangkok, and I need to, at the almost 2-year mark of living here, kind of open my mind to other possibilities other than Prompong on the Sukhumvit Green Line. That's a little, it's a little, I won't say touristy, but it's just, it's kind of the go-to spot. And there's just a million other places I could live. All right, I'm kind of rambling on. I think the heat's getting to me a little bit. And here, we're on Phetchaburi, and let's find the airport rail link station. Well, I don't see anything down that way, and that's that busy intersection I took to get to the Bangkok Hospital. So I am going to pass this car wash and walk up this way and see if I can find this thing. I know my friend told me it was not that far from Soi 55 unless it's off in the other direction. I'm getting a little bit far from 55 at this point. So that nice security guy down the way, he told me, yep, you can't come in this way. It looked like a storage facility for the train parts or something. Well, he told me to come back out this way, and he told me the station was down to the left. I'm sure there's a station to the right and left. I'm trying to find the one closest to Soi 55, and I might have failed in doing so. Now I'm just out for a walk at this point. This is all real nice back here compared to other parts of Bangkok and the hustle and bustle. This definitely has a little bit more of a suburb feel, even though you're 2 miles from Sukhumvit. And I am not a nightclub guy at all, but I believe this is the RCA Plaza and all the different nightclubs. I think I was here 10 or 12 years ago, and I certainly came from the other direction. I'm going to assume this is the RCA Plaza and all the different, what is that called? Miran Club, all the dance places and techno music spots. Yeah, RCA Plaza. Kind of more, so I think I've walked past that train station. I can hear it on the other side of this, of the RCA Plaza. And across the way is Seven Heaven Hair Studio. And I'm sure no expert on the RCA Plaza. You can do your homework on that, but if you're into your different dance spots and all, check out RCA Plaza, and I'm 99.9% sure this is it. In fact, I know it is because it says the go-karts are upstairs. Easy Kart, go-karts, and I know I did that years ago as well. Here's a Tops grocery store. Here's another place called Party Time. All right, I'm definitely lost at this point. I mean, I know where I'm at. I just don't know where this airport rail link train stop is. I'm sure I'm way past the one that my friend takes, who works on Soi 55, but let me head up to the tracks and take a look. Now here's a large office mate, and they have a ton of chairs under the tent over there on clearance sale. That's where I found my office chair, was office mate down on Rama 4, but looks like a huge location. Getting lost back here. It's just cool to check the place out. I think I'm gonna call it a failure on trying to find that airport rail link track. Maybe someday I'll get on the airport train up at Asok and then get off at each station and look around. And we are back on Phetchaburi. I'm not sure where on Phetchaburi. There's a big Sony sign. I know, I'm kind of standing in the middle of the street here. I know Soi 55 is off in this direction to the right, but I think I've walked quite a ways down from Soi 55. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna go back across to the other side of Phetchaburi and then maybe wrap this little look of Bangkok up this morning. And here's Tata Motors. It looks like a lot of high-end automobiles being fixed. And down the way where you see the green traffic sign, you'll see a walk bridge like I'm standing on the other side. I'm pretty sure that's the bridge I took to get to the other side and went and found that Bangkok Hospital. Although I see the hospital cross way down the way, so yeah, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna walk on the right side over here in the direction of that other crosswalk. It's going on 9 in the morning and still pretty solid traffic heading into the city. Here is the base on Phetchaburi, the base Thang La, and I am out of steam. I just got myself a little sugar. I don't even drink Coke anymore, but I think I lost about 2 pounds walking around this morning, so I'm gonna power down some sugar and then jump on a motorbike and head home. I've been out walking around for 4 hours, so time to get in some air conditioning, maybe upload some video and take it easy. I appreciate you following along this morning. This walk around Phetchaburi and the RCA and Bangkok Hospital area. I was really surprised. It's really nice back there by the RCA. And I apologize again for not being able to find that airport rail link station. I know it exists, but I sure walked for miles trying to find how to access the place, and I failed. But I'll try that another day. So thank you so much for watching and have a great morning. Take it easy.